Evening. And I want to just say a couple things. First of all, I want to thank the councilman for including the fire department in these critical discussions. I have the opportunity to represent the brave men and women of Los Angeles Fire Department, several of which responded to the incident the other day. I talked to several of them this morning just to make sure I was up to speed on what happened that night, in case I was asked any questions about it. But I think you folks probably know better than I do the exact nature of what happened, the issues that they dealt with that night, which is the seriousness, obviously, and the speeds that we were dealing with. I just wanted to touch on two things. I'm a parent of 3 children, and I just wanted to give you a parent's perspective, those of you particularly that are raising children that are just coming into the teenage years and prospective drivers. You may or may not do what I did, and that is deal with purchasing a car for your children, and however you finance it or if they finance it, that's between you and them. But the question I throw out to you is, what kind of car are you going to buy them or be a partner in getting them? I will tell you my strategy was to get them the slowest car I could possibly find. I found a 1987 Volvo, and it was a 4-cylinder. I hope nobody sells Volvos in here. But it was in 1987 the safest car on the planet. That was before airbags, but it worked great. My kids all survived the teenage years, and I thank Volvo for that. And I will also tell you that, watch this because this is unrehearsed, LAPD officers, what is the most vivid color vehicle that you ticket?
Most vivid, red.
Yeah, red. If I was going to buy my child a car that I wanted watched, I would get them a red Volvo. Because now they're going slow and he's watching. So I mean, in all seriousness, those are strategies. If you do history or data, you will find that the red cars are by far the most ticketed, and the yellows, any of the bright colors. So there's some strategy for you that are going to be diving into the parent area of teenage parenting, which is a great. I love the years. It was a great time. My heart is broken for the family that just lost theirs. I just can't imagine the anguish. So from that standpoint, I'm actually very sensitive to what's going on. The other standpoint, I just want to tell you, in the meeting we had, we talked about how does this community grapple with this? What are the areas that we can do? And clearly, as we talked for almost 2 hours, it became very evident that the answer is in 3 areas: enforcement, behavior modification of the people that use Palisades, and ultimately, and the long-term solution is to modify the environment. I talked to some firefighters. We had a curve up there on Sunset around Westwood Plaza. I won't tell you the name, it was a gruesome name, but the curve was famous for multiple fatalities year after year. The firefighters that have been in this battalion a long time will tell you how incredibly deadly that was. And if you folks that have lived here a long time, I worked here back in the early 80s as an apparatus operator, and the yellow barriers were not in place. And I coincidentally went on numerous high-speed accidents head-ons on Sunset. And now, today, as I drive Sunset just about every day when I'm at work, we have to slow down. Jeff back there who's driving me today, it makes you slow down. So the fact that when we talk about what we're going to talk about, changing the environment, modifying it, however we do that, I would tell you from a firefighter's perspective, that will probably ultimately be the best tool. Because we can change everybody's behavior in this room, and we'll still have terrible accidents in the Palisades Canyon, because you have trailheads up there. You have people from outside the community using your community. So even if we have everybody up there doing it exactly right, we're still going to have people coming in there that are not trained and benefiting from that training. So I think we're on the right path. Ultimately, with an environmental change, plus the behavior, plus the enforcement, I think it's a great discussion that we can have. So, Councilman, thank you very much.